Okay, we're on.
Welcome to the Stockbridge Water and Sewer Department meeting of November 14th, 2024. So John,
Yeah, I move that we accept the minutes from the October meeting.
okay, so moved. First up is sewer needs analysis discussion. We've all had this in our possession for, several months now, a few months now, and we've all read it. And I think and over the past few meetings, we've solicited some feedback from Tony and Mike. And I think what we need to do moving forward with this is to post the analysis on the town website perhaps on Monday. Jennifer, could we talk to Canales about that? Or could you take care of that? Okay, thank you. And then our next meeting, we should have a discussion about it so we can, field questions from our constituents throughout Stockbridge. I do have some thoughts about it myself. I think that we should approach this in a prudent way with a lot of forethought and approach it in a measured way so that we first take care of all our aging infrastructure first. We have several projects started, ongoing projects, infiltration and into the sewer system that we're trying to address. We've got the Elm and Maple Street water project that we want to take care of. Those things are priorities as far as I'm concerned. We have aging infrastructure throughout town. And it's just, I think that I'd like to suggest to the commission that that's the approach we take before we do any wholesale expansion of sewer and or water throughout other unserviced parts of town. Let's take care of our customers first.
Yep.
Anything to add, Mike, Tony?
No, I agree. We do have quite a bit of, we just conducted our CMOM investigation for our INI study and are awaiting some facts back from our engineer with regards to where best start and, go after some easy fix spots that we can get more bang from our buck from without getting involved with spending a lot of time and resources on. So we should hear back from them by probably mid-January on where we can head in for the budgetary planning process for that in the upcoming fiscal year. I think the public will be happy to see that our consultant did a pretty diligent job with the sewer needs analysis and how we broke it down and how everything is labeled and scored, and let everybody take a look at that next week when it's posted and digest where and what he suggested, and we'll discuss it.
Absolutely. Sounds great, Tony. Mike, anything to add to that discussion?
No, sounds good.
So if there are folks out on Zoom that would like to speak about the sewer needs analysis, let us know. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Rachel Revest and I'm representing the Lake Drive Association. You can imagine that we're very interested in the report. We have a lot of people with aging sewer systems with the potential for contaminating the lake. So we look forward to the report, and we'll be definitely present at the next meeting. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Well, let's move on then to Glendale sewer repair schedule. What's going on, Tony?
So we know that we have a problem over there. It's coming in through a service that's near the fire department. And upon doing some investigative work with our new sewer camera, it's where the engineering firm, their CCTV inspection sees the water coming in, isn't where the water is coming from. It's coming through that service, and you can see it in the main. But if we dig there, I think it's in the wrong spot. So we have to wait till the groundwater comes back a little bit better. Because
So you think it's coming in through
we've viewed,
service line?
yeah, it's infiltrating in through a service line, through through something that's come apart. So we've investigated it through a service from the old post office building, from inside with our camera. And it's hard to tell exactly where it is, but it looks like it's not in the road. So
So it may be on private property.
it may be off the road enough, still on, the easement there is very wide. So to be determined, I'm not sure if it's on private property or not yet. But it looks like it's not in the travelway 183, the problem itself.
Okay, well, that's a plus, right?
And, you know, all we can see now is like remnants of where the water was because the groundwater's so low right now. So it's groundwater driven. So the problem is stopped for the moment, but it hasn't gone away.
Gotcha.
So we need to pinpoint it more accurately before we do anything, because digging in the wrong spot's not going to be the hot setup too. It's not going to, you know,
Right.
we're going to be chasing the ghost.
So do we have does Hugh have does the town, do we have a copy of the Route 183 alignment there?
Oh, yeah, we have a very extensive map, and then I have as-built for everybody's stuff.
As-built from when was that?
2020, 2006, around.
So it should be pretty accurate.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's how we've located it.
Okay.
So, yeah. That's the update. So no schedule yet, but that's an update.
Okay. You got, all right, so once we determine this, is this something you guys are gonna?
If it's not, if originally, if it was in the traveled way, I was gonna, you know, contract it out. But I think if in fact it's where we think it is, I think we'll be able to handle it in-house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
With some help from the highway department.
Update on geological survey.
Yeah, that's going well. Mike got the contract, figured out with town council. And back to UMass Amherst, to the USGS department. Been doing samples every week, and talking with Dave Bout, Dr. David Bout, who's leading this project. The drought is we're in a drought. We're in a level 2 drought with DEP right now. We got the letter, I think, Tuesday sent out. And it's kind of perfect timing really for this, to see how much this, I was talking to David today and I said, we're taking 1 million gallons plus out of that lake a week. And it's really holding on strong. And there's hardly, this feeder stream that we sample out of, it's barely running. I was there this afternoon at a little after 3:00 grabbing a sample, and I took a video of it and sent it to him. And I said, well, this definitely isn't 1 million gallons a week, but so, as we thought, he's like, this is really good because he said, you're not dropping anywhere near, historic lows or anything, but we'll be able to really put a quantitative number on this surcharge from the ground in the springs on this, especially with hardly anything running in.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and with our flow data every day taking out of the lake, it's a pretty, recipe for a really good number. Let's put it that way. So
yeah, I know Donnie wanted to talk about the lake level.
Yeah, I measured it today. It's 9 7/8 inches below overflow. I want to say last year a wet year and then the year before was dry? I can't remember. But we were down 18 inches, a couple of years ago, I think. Last year, I think we overflowed all year and it was the year before. That we had a pretty dry year
I
and
remember we had a dry summer.
yeah, yeah.
A couple of years ago.
So we're right around that same, or half that number right now going into the fall.
That's not bad.
No.
Considering the extended period.
And we were 18 inches below overflow in like July and August of 2 years ago when I keep track of the level in the reservoir now. And now that I realize it's such an important piece of data to have, especially for these, to try to come up with these safe yield numbers. So it's going well. I have a bunch of samples, isotope samples that they have to come and analyze. They just come and grab them, but they can sit for years. Nothing's going to change in the isotope that I think it's called tritium that they look at.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's going well. And we haven't had a whole lot of rain to measure, and we're taking samples of the rainwater every 2 weeks as well. So hopefully before we get into the meat and potatoes of winter here, hopefully everything's full and overflowing or really close to overflowing anyway, let's put it that way. I mean, not even 10 inches below overflow is, we've seen it a lot slower. We've seen it really, really low. Back in like 96, I want to say it was 3.5, 4 feet down. You could almost drive a pickup truck around the outside of it. It would look, there was so much shoreline
What was
exposed.
when, Mike?
96, I think.
96, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's going good. Now, we were there was some things there was a thing in the contract where, there was stuff about patents and, any inventions that were kind of made like from staff that was doing this study and, that kind of thing, like somebody came up with this really great idea or this new process, and then there was whatever. So they just had to figure all that out, which it's all good now. And Mike got the contract over this afternoon. So now we can release funds and they can get people on payroll and they can start, because they've kind of been not doing a whole lot as of late because they just don't, they got other funding that they have to, other projects they're working on. So anyway, that's the update. It's,
We'll incentivize it a little bit. For you
yeah.
With a contract.
Yeah.
Mike, I gotta ask you were talking about last time, you were talking about beavers chewing the overflow
Yeah.
boards.
Yeah.
How's that happen?
Yeah. They unfortunately, I don't know how much water we lost out of the lake with that night. They pulled a 2x6 out of the concrete, and they chewed the other one in half and started on the ones below. So I put a new board in and then put steel strapping on it. And then they still started chewing between the steel strapping, which I only had, I don't know, 2 inches, 2.5 inches in between. And they started chewing in between those. So anyway,
Since then, are you good? Is it working for you?
we're good. Yep. We're all set in that regard. Yep.
Great.
Yep. Oh yeah. The next item,
Yeah.
so I have the wording here. This is the email I sent around. Talked to Mike about it today. He said, if you guys want to add that sentence in, it's perfectly, you guys have, you guys are making rules and regulations as you see fit as the
Talking
sewer.
about the hookup.
Yeah, so
So for the folks out in Zoom land, this is, we're talking about regulations pertaining to water and sewer hookups to the town mains.
yeah,
And what we're proposing for new language to be added to our existing regulations.
yeah. So what it does is if a person subdivides, which it's always just been a kind of an unwritten rule, but we need to document it and put it in our rules and regs officially. If somebody subdivides a piece of property, they're gonna have to, and build another house, they're gonna have to water and sewer services have to come on the property off the street onto that and serve just that property and not take it out of the existing house and put it into another one, because as we know, when they change hands, we've got a lot of it out there from, the early 1900s. It just cleans up things. And then Mike, we talked about this morning in our meeting and our DPW meeting, and Mike Canales did say, ADUs
That's what I wanted to.
it's fine, because that ADU cannot be sold as a separate parcel house. So if you want an ADU to have the sewer and water run out, it would obviously,
You can share the line of.
as long as everything's metered and, there's stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So we can, I guess for the next meeting, we can, we get this language pinned down, and then you guys can just take a vote on it, at the next meeting, and then should be good.
You'll circulate that ahead of time.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Tuckerman Bridge replacement and 8-inch water main.
Yeah, so we talked about that in the meeting again as well today. And they did receive a $1 million grant for the Tuckerman Bridge. So with that being said, the plan was, if we did get that grant, it would offset the cost because the money's is already in place after that, taking that loan out for some big ticket items a couple years ago. So the 8-inch water main, as long as prices don't come in super crazy, which I think the $1 million to cover all the water main work we want to do, the proposed add-on with the bridge would be from the top of Church Street, where we left off in the 2010 water project, to go down across the bridge, go out to get rid of some of the cast iron that we have, a lot of the 6-inch, and to get to go out across, down by the golf course, across the bridge, the new bridge when they build it, and then go down to the golf club maintenance shop on Cherry Street down toward John's, and then hook into the newer water main that's already there, and then just go up to the top of the hill, so we get really good flow to that first hydrant on Glendale Middle Road near Dealey's, Dealey's old estate, J. Dow's estate. So in a fire situation, there is a hydrant that's going to be, you guys can hook on and lay line or whatever and relay, so.
So like in front of Pete Brinsky's and Donnie's house, what size?
That's all 6, and it's like, they're painted red. They're less than, they're like 100 gallons a minute,
Will this
100.
flow for those folks too?
It will, I'm sure, a little bit, but probably out by Donnie's, probably not. Yeah, it probably will. I'll read.
There's no pressure issues there.
No, it's just once
It's
you
just
pop a height,
volume.
yeah, it's volume. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So once we do a project like that, the ISO, the Insurance Services Organization, we did the whole town over when we did the big water project because we had no idea what our flows were going to be. So when the new hydrants are all put in, I'll definitely be running those and redo the spreadsheet that I have the fire department, so they know what every hydrant is capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll redo those hydrants and reclassify. And I'm sure it'll probably help out towards John's too and bump those up maybe a couple 100 gallons a minute each. I don't know. It's definitely going to help. No doubt.
And as far as the golf club's concerned, they don't use any town water for irrigation.
No, they drilled that big well over, but behind the maintenance building, boy, got to be almost 20 years ago now.
Yeah. And that does all of their irrigation.
Yeah. They got 6-inch mains all.
That's how they irrigate the golf course with their well.
Yep.
Are they hooked up to the water, to the town water?
They are
Drinking and
down the
stuff?
maintenance road. There's a big meter pit out near the first green or the first fairway. And that feeds the pro shop and the clubhouse. And then the maintenance building they have just has a regular 3/4 inch. Yeah, just has a regular house service.
Mhm.
There's pretty much just a bathroom there,
Sure.
some hoses.
Just domestic stuff.
Yep. So that was really good news. That was That'll be great.
So the Tuckman Bridge is gonna be replaced
Yeah.
as a structure.
Yeah, they're talking, what did Mike say, construction season 2020?
Can't remember what he said.
It wouldn't be next, it wouldn't be the upcoming, it'd
Not
be the
upcoming
following.
one. So they'll cut it down to one lane, or will they close it?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be closed right off. Yeah,
So it's 183. So get around
yeah,
or
Yeah.
Cherry Street.
yeah.
Will they have the other bridge opened up by then, or are they still on one lane down there?
They'll still probably be on one lane down there. Yeah,
That's gonna create some problems.
yeah.
A lot of traffic going down Cherry Street.
I'm
because-
pretty sure they did some newer borings and, but they're still gonna, pretty sure they're still gonna be able to use the same granite abutments there, which
Nice.
will be nice. Yeah.
So what type of bridge are they proposing? Concrete
I'm not,
bridge?
I don't know, be quite honest with you. I'm not sure. Not sure.
Be nice to have a steel structure. Oh,
And
I
I
like
think
the looks
I
of it.
think because of the new 500-year floodplain, they might have to raise that bridge, the existing bridge deck about a foot. But they can do that with the existing abutments. They can add on to it or something, so. Yep,
and let's see, we've already talked about the Echo Lake level.
yep.
And we're on to Tony's and Mike's concerns. Tony, your name is first. What do you have? What are you concerned about
I don't
these
really
days?
have any concerns regarding water sewer at the moment. No, nothing, just, there's no concerns, just, we've been just doing general maintenance. We've done, our new sludge pump is online. It was started up last Friday by the manufacturer just to make sure everything was all installed correctly and everything. So we loaded our first truck with it this morning, loaded it in about 30 minutes, which cut our time in about almost half. So yeah, that's running good. And just, general maintenance to an aging infrastructure and wastewater plant.
Just got to check on one thing. Park Street is 100%, right?
Yep.
Good.
Yep, 100%. I guess the Park and Recs Committee is deciding what they're going to plant down there this spring for kind of a screen, to kind of hide it. But that's not anything to do with us or out of our money. So
What was the big tree that we had to cut down?
it was a linden tree. You mean the species?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if we might want to talk about, do you have any, I mean, at the end of the year, are you going to have any money left?
Well, that's to be determined. The last couple of years I haven't, so.
Maybe we could help them out. If we have some funds.
Yeah, I think,
So with a tree.
yeah, I don't know what their plan is. I haven't spoke with them. I know that they met down there with some kind of an arborist from somewhere that's going to do the planning. So I think they're figuring out what they're going to put in. I don't know.
Good.
You have you have a tree in mind?
No, I don't have one in, I just remember we cut down a
Beautiful tree.
Yeah, it was,
Tree there.
it was.
to facilitate,
Yeah,
construction.
of course.
And, I think it might be, if there are funds, and this is a big if,
Yeah.
if there are funds available towards the end of our fiscal year, maybe we can do something.
We can tap the tree warden budget.
Yeah, or we can do something, but maybe get something, give something back.
It's kind of up to, like, I've kind of taken a step back. It's Park and Rec's baby now. It's kind of their property and we're on it. So, they like to do things their way. So,
Well, I will defer to you guys anyway, so, I'm just throwing that out there.
yeah, no, it's a good idea. I agree. It'd be a nice gesture if they would like it.
Maybe no one remembers the linden tree besides John.
I don't even know.
No, I
what
certainly
the
do. We
tree
used to eat
is.
lunch down there every day. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a beautiful tree.
it was a landmark spot down there.
It was a location. that was
Those trees have like the perfect shape too. I mean, they grow so perfect. They're pretty, and I think wasn't it a dual leader and it broke off in a big storm like 5-8 years ago? Part of it did break off and had to get cut up, but yeah.
Mike, anything for us?
The water easement mowing was done, from, Solitude Lake Management. They came out and mowed the one across from the plant out through the swamp, and they came out and did the one, across from the pump house to 183. So that's an annual thing that's right in our budget now, so. And then the only other thing is you'll see in that report, the watershed, inspection report is that, they mentioned zebra mussels being, that we found them in the Stockbridge Bowl, which we have not. So I did email the,
It's a mistake that we did not find them. Or that we did find them.
it says in there that we have
We
found
did.
them, and we have. So I just wanted to.
And that can be verified.
Yeah, and I emailed Allison back, Taylor. She's the one that did the inspection on the report. And I just said, if you want to just redo that page, I can take it out and put it in mine, and re-email it or whatever you want to do. So I haven't heard back from her. I know they're busy, but
And I did see that you qualified for the half measure, the half.
yeah, the half credit, the half log credit removal. Yeah, that's very, very, very important. Yeah. Since we have an approved watershed management plan, that's why we have the inspection every 3 years, and that's verifies, as long as they find everything being in order, we get approved of that half log credit removal. So. Yeah, that's all I really have.
Good. Well, it's pretty quiet for the past month, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing. Yes.
Yep.
Jennifer, anybody left on?
John?
John, you want
Well, I move that we adjourn.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, have a good night.
All right.
See you guys next
See you
week.
later.
Do we